The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico and Haan and Paige Clarke.
Hi, folks. Nico and Haan here with Paige Clarke, and we're living a primal lifestyle. And happy Friday, folks. It's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater. In fact, it's 61 degrees. It's kind of cool. But
61 and having fun.
And having fun. I like that, yeah. And I wanted to let everybody know that we have a great newsletter called Health Signals, and we invite you to pick that up. It's only $10 a month. You get 2 issues a month on the first and third Friday of every month, and it's only $10, so it's $5 an issue. And it's loaded with a lot of information.
Lots of cutting-edge information.
Indeed, it is cutting-edge information. So please go to the website, TFNN, and order the newsletter. Also, the number here is 877-927-6648. It's a great week this week at the dojo because,
Yeah, you were excited about that.
I'm very excited because we had some visitors from Brazil.
Oh, wow.
So I want to say hi to everybody in Brazil, especially all my friends out there in Jiu-Jitsu land and who are watching us in competition and that. So
Yeah, you've got a lot of viewers that are in the Jiu-Jitsu world watching our show.
I have a lot of friends on Facebook and stuff,
I love
it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, we had a friend of Eduardo's, 2 brothers, that also are named De Lima, and these guys are the top of the world in practitioners of jiu-jitsu, and he rolled with all of us. So what these guys really are good at, they come into the dojo, hi, how you doing? Okay, I'm going to roll with everybody. And so one by one, he's starting with the lightest guy, and then he rolls with all of them, and the heaviest guy is over 300 pounds, maybe 285. I shouldn't give up his weight, but, he rolled with all of us, threw us around like little rappers, It was really cool. And then he, told us stories about Rio and about how they were on the beach and when they were young, and they were all buddies surfing and got into jiu-jitsu. But the interesting thing was, I'm, of course, training for the Pan Ams, which is really cool. In 2 weeks, I'll be there and competing.
That's right.
And he said,
I'll be on my own.
Yeah, you'll be on your own. Well, you're doing really well.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll find something to do. We'll miss
no doubt
you,
about it.
but we'll be sending good vibes.
For sure. So he was telling us the whole story about how Eduardo got here, and that there's probably only about maybe a half a dozen people at the level that Eduardo is in the United States. And he says, I'm one, and my brother is one, and Eduardo's one, so there's 3, maybe 4 other ones out there. And he says, you don't know really how lucky you are, because when I roll with you guys, I can see the expertise and how the level you guys are at, and you don't find that in many places in the world, because everything gets watered down. One person's teaching, and then there's somebody else opens up a place and starts teaching, and things change. So what we have in Clearwater here with Eduardo De Lima is one of the originals. It's kind of like one of the 300 Spartans teaching you. Wow. And what could be better than that? So I just wanted to say hi to everybody in Brazil, and thank you so much for bringing jiu-jitsu to us, and we just love it.
Yeah, and it kind of makes me feel proud. We've got you and this special niche of people that are qualified, and then we've got Allie Ford on mindful living and her Ashtanga-based teachings, and she is really, there's a very select few people qualified to teach, And,
at the level that she teaches,
absolutely.
No doubt about it.
And so, hey, we're in good company. I like it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I found this article in the paper.
You want to eat healthier, clean out your pantry, and this is a place where a lot of us that are helping people through health coaching and lifestyle coaching, a great place to start.
Yes, it is.
But
I think it's always the place to start, because when I decided to change my diet, that's the first thing I did.
It's time to get real, people, and that's what we're doing.
Yes.
It's getting real with our food.
So I wanted to go through this list a little bit because
there's some good things, and then there's some things we might.
Some things I don't like at all, for sure.
Yeah.
One, keeping healthy snacks on hand makes it easier to be sensible, and that makes sense. I always go to the thing, if you really need to snack, maybe your diet's not the right thing.
Bingo. That is exactly true. I mean, what we really want to go towards is lowering our stress hormones that cause us to have the blood sugar dysregulation that forces us to feel like we need to have snacks. The ideal goal would be to eat the proper amounts of micro and macronutrients at 3 nice meals a day to give you a sustained energy.
Right.
And whereas I know a lot of people that are training, and in certain situations it might be necessary. My daughter's working on a fitness competition, and and her trainer has her eating 6 meals a day. But they're very specific, and then they're doing the cutting. But as a general rule, we know that when we're getting that lowered insulin sensitivity and we're using fat as a source, we don't need to snack. So
one thing, if somebody's telling you to eat 6 meals a day, my thought is always that they're probably more of a high-carb diet. Because you kind of need that, because your sugar is going to drop, and then all of a sudden you need that, and you run out of energy. So it's a little different philosophy than we're doing, because we're more of a low carb, and the carbs that we eat are going to be very healthy. They're going to be things that actually you can take out of the ground and eat immediately without any processing.
And I like to tell my clients and anyone who's listening that when we talk about eating less carbs or no carbs, and we say we have a primal template here.
Yes.
And that can include some well-placed grains or starches at times, but most of the time, to get a healing and allow the gut to heal and allow the toxins from some of the foods that we are having in our environment, we need to go a period of time without it, and then
that's very important, Paige, because you want your body to kind of normalize and find out really where the problems are. So one of the problems in our society is gluten, of course.
Well, you know how you love the show Suspicious Observers?
Yes.
Well, I call them like the 7 to 10 suspicious observers, and we need to observe.
Those are the 7 or 10 foods.
We need to get these things out and be mindful of kind of, even if we take it in steps. But I don't want people to feel that the lifestyle that we're suggesting means that everything is a no-no forever.
No, because last week I had some jambalaya and had a little bit of rice in it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're going to eat that once in a while, and it's no problem.
We don't want the 2 pieces of toast in the morning, the 2 pieces of bread sandwich, and the pasta at night.
In the afternoon.
That's the problem, folks. That's where we lose it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so the tips here for stocking a healthy pantry, first of all, get rid of the junk, and really that makes sense, doesn't it?
You can't pronounce it, get rid of it.
Yeah, and then look at the labels, and things like sodas and ketchup and cookies and high-sugar cereals are the culprits that are ready to get rid of those things, and that makes a lot of sense.
I really like the idea of realizing that we need to enlarge our refrigerators and decrease our pantry. What do we really need to put? Pantries are for boxed and bagged and packaged foods.
True enough.
So
those are for dishes, really.
So really, I see the day where we'll all have these big, drive-through refrigerators. That would be I would love to have a walk-in refrigerator.
I'd like to have one in my car,
Yeah.
In fact, I have a little portable one, so when we take a trip, take my stuff with me. The thing is restocking it with healthier foods, and that's a great idea, of course. Now, in this article, it says, here are some healthy alternatives, whole grains. Well, you and I both know, and we've discussed this many times, that whole grains are no better, and maybe even worse.
Yeah, beans and other high-fiber foods. Now, we know what's the problem with beans. Even David Wolf, who's a big vegan guy, talks about beans because of the phytic acid being a non-beauty food.
Right.
We don't digest them. We have enzyme inhibitors to digestion. So does it mean that you can't ever eat them, or that you should never? But it's when they become a staple we see a problem, because they are foods that can have some suspicious activity.
No doubt about it. And fiber is something that you can't absorb. You can't really digest it. So
well, I'm following the Russian researcher from the site I shared with everyone out there called Gut Sense or Fiber Menace. You start to read his research. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, but anyways. Those are the sites, and you can go read that information, and he really questions whether or not fiber
and many
was a
people
good
are
addition.
questioning that today. Yeah. And I do question it, because I had a product called Colon Cleanse that I used for many years. Because of the fiber, I felt I wasn't getting enough fiber, and that's what the news always says.
Psyllium or the psyllium?
Yeah, it was psyllium and organic. I went to organic psyllium. Hey, this is really something special. And then I started reading and getting more research, and I'm saying that maybe this really isn't that necessary. So then I stopped the fiber, and at first I was kind of plugged up and stuff, and then within about 2 weeks, everything started flowing out, and now I'm as regular as can be, and there's no problems, and I feel I really do not need the fiber.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. Reorganize and prioritize. Well, that's certainly important because we are creatures of habit, as it says here. And if you're cooking and it becomes too much of a chore, or you just don't have enough time to do that,
it's easy to make bad choices.
Yeah, then you could probably go for the pizza and the Coke or something like that, which is not a good thing to do.
And of course, this was written by an RD, and licensed dietary nutritionist, mainstream. So it's at least it was in the paper. There's some good tips, but we like to go a little farther down the rabbit hole here, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. And also, it start with a recipe box, which is a good idea. But one of the things I found, Paige, is that when we're talking about paleo and primal or ancestral type of food, it's not that hard. Because you start with the protein and you leave the fat on it, as long as you know the animal's doing good. You throw a little bit of greens on there, and I always like the herbal type, so they're really fresh, and the tops, the leafy stuff. And that's about it. Yeah. Then you drink some good water, some tea. If you want a little alcohol, no problem.
Right.
And you're living the high life as far as I'm concerned. I mean, what's wrong with that?
I think it's a pretty easy diet.
And again, I've said this 100 times, your budget starts going down as far as food is concerned because you're eating better quality, so you're eating less.
Processed and packaged food is expensive, and folks, if you need help, contact me, Paige, at TFNN.com.
Yep.
I'll work with you personally, and I know Nico will as well.
No doubt.
Nico at TFNN.com.
And we'll be glad to answer any questions you have and try to steer you in the right direction.
Because we're about doing the primal things. Primal living is primal means doing the important or most important things. And food is right there. It's what you eat and what you drink, and we talk about that. It's how you move.
If you look at medicine as food, or food as medicine, it's really the same thing. I mean, if you're taking an antibiotic, if you look at that as a food, then you might change your mind about taking that.
Well, that's what I do in my private consulting offices. I give people remedies, recipes, and ceremonies.
I know, yeah, and ceremonies, and that I really like that part of it too, because that really involves your spirit, your body-mind connection.
Well, it's a whole person healing, and that's my approach. I am passionate about seeing the healed get back in health, and I had a situation, kind of a heated moment at one point where I was having a conversation. I said, "Since when does medicine have anything to do with health?" And it really just dawned on me, it's not. It's about, it's not really about health. And don't get me wrong, there can be a time for medicine.
No doubt about it.
But we can integrate it, but people have lost it, and where that they think that the only way they can get well. Yeah. And that's not true.
And we have a real interesting research that Paige brought to the table. We're talking about the Egyptians mastered medicine thousands of years ago, and we're going to be talking about this right after the break because I think it's really interesting what they're finding in ancient Egypt as far as the scrolls are concerned. So
ancient wisdom and modern science for the best health.
So in the meantime, please pick up my Health Signals newsletter. You're going to get a lot of this information in there and find out how to stay healthy, wealthy, and wise so you can keep on trading and making money, and that's the important thing. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648 is the phone number. Please give us a call if you have any questions or comments on the show here.
See you after the break.
You've heard Nico de Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Paige and Nico. We're living a primal lifestyle where we're showing you that living in ancient wisdom and quantum physics is the way to go. And what we found out today is that the Egyptians had medicine mastered thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
And what I really liked about this, Nico and I share information and we powwow on what we're going to do. I mean, even if, I don't know if Alice got our picture up of, some of the ancient papyrus writings. Looks to me like these guys are doing acupressure.
Yeah,
and in fact, with the hand underneath the arm there reminds me of one of the tapping points. And if you guys have time over the next couple days, you should join in and Google the tapping solution, because they're having a free summit right now. So just Google the tapping solution.
Held?
I'm not sure where it's being held,
it's
but
somewhere in the area here, right?
Oh no!
No, is it?
No, I think it's out in California, but it's international. It's the 6th annual tapping solution. You can tap into that, no pun intended, and learn how to use the emotional freedom technique, which is now an evidence-based science, ancient wisdom, modern science, to help us remove blocks, energy blocks. But let's talk about what these Egyptians knew. And all of you know that I'm an aromatherapist, and utilizing the plant energies and essential precious oils, you'll see some of these, were extremely popular and used for all kinds of ailments.
Well, they have these scrolls They have, I don't know how many there are, but there's a bunch of them that one of them is called the Medicine Encyclopedia. It's called the Ebers Papyrus, and it's a 110-page scroll, about 20 meters long, and it's all about the herbs and the different kind of vegetables and like garlic and things that are steeped in wine, used as oral medicine, natural herbs, untainted by pesticides, of course, herbicides, insecticides, or fluoridated water.
Key there.
Yeah.
And what I loved is the documented use of myrrh, frankincense, fennel,
Right.
cassia, thyme, juniper, and even aloe. And the fresh garlic cloves were peeled and mashed and put into vinegar and were used for sore throats and all kinds of things, and natural antibiotics. They knew about the healing power of honey, and honey is often found in tombs. So really, when we talk a lot about the solutions of natural medicine, I like to ask people, since when did natural medicine become the alternative? It's quite obvious.
That's pretty amazing. And
it's quite. I actually kind of resent that if someone says, "Oh, she's into alternative medicine." I said, "No, not really.
No,
it's
not
the
really.
real
It's
medicine."
it's the stuff that came later that's alternative as far as we're concerned. No doubt about that.
Exactly. So they
and the interesting thing here is beekeeping was really invented in that whole Mesopotamia and Egypt area. They were doing that for thousands of years before.
Yeah, Canaan was called the land of milk and honey.
There you go.
You know,
Proof.
in the Hebrew tradition.
Yep.
So, real quick, some of the remedies, aloe vera was used to alleviate burns, ulcers, skin disease, and allergies. Basil was written up as heart medicine. I love basil. And so, guys, we can use these as powerful herbal tinctures. We can use them in powerful aromatherapy that we apply to the body. I often make belly rubs that include fennel and cardamom seeds. And the energy. Remember, guys, we're not deficient. We don't have a prescription drug deficiency. We don't even really have a synthetic vitamin deficiency. We have a need for the energy and light, the biophotonic energy that once living or living source plants, substances give off. That is what our body needs. Those are the frequency sets.
Okay.
So anyways, just thought I'd let you know, natural medicine's been around for a while and is really the original medicine.
Yeah, that certainly is. And, most of the things that we talk about is really what our ancient ancestors did, especially hunter and gatherers. So when we look at what hunter and gatherers ate, and if you look at the modern hunter-gatherers, in other words, people who are still living that way, we find out that they're not so much on a plant-based diet as they are on an animal diet or a fish diet, and using the other things as the herbs and the little bit of greens just to complement the thing. So we're using the natural fats to fuel our body instead of the modern way, which is using sugar.
Well, the sugars and the processed seed oils. I personally think that the processed seed oils are as much...
It's probably one of the worst things that ever happened to us.
My feeling is we can't... The cell membrane has a high-powered phosphorus sheath that's a very intelligent design that lets good stuff in.
Yes.
And is able to let stuff out when it functions properly.
Yeah.
And many of you know that we have been working on a formulation that we want to bring to all you tigers.
We're very
we are
close,
so
folks.
excited.
I
think you're going to... So let's just don't even go there yet.
No,
it's too exciting. Too exciting.
Yeah.
Too much stuff to tell you.
So please pick up the Health Signals newsletter, $10 a month. You get 2 issues a month, and you're going to be really educated and really discovering for yourself what the primal living is all about and being healthy. So
because it's all up to you. It's all things you do.
No doubt. 877-927-6848. Give us a call, folks. We'll be right back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can't use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle, and we're just having a lot of fun today.
We were just talking about, the history of herbal medicine that goes back to Egyptian days, and we were talking about how much we love basil as a natural herb, and we also know we love basil here. So
That's right.
Basil, we love you. Basil Chapman, we love you.
Yeah, for sure, and I know he loves us too.
Yes.
Fordham University mumps outbreak affecting only vaccinated students.
Yet.
School bans unvaccinated students anyway. So
this is interesting because my cousin's visiting right now. She used to be a professor there of Italian.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to have dinner with her this weekend, so I'm going to have to ask her thoughts on that.
Rake her over the coals for me, will you? Okay. Well, this is an article that's really saying that there was the students who were vaccinated with the mumps vaccine, I guess it is.
We're the only ones that came down with the mumps.
Yeah.
Yet they forbid the unvaccinated students from attending school and allowed, after a certain window of time, those that had come down with it to come back to school. And folks, I want us to take a look at what this is saying. This is, again, the mainstream media working in conjunction with Big Pharma to control our perception of what is causing these, outbreaks that we're suddenly seeing. As an example,
one of the statements that I should mention is that all of the students who were tentatively diagnosed with mumps had been vaccinated, and they're saying, well, vaccinations do not offer 100% protection, but at the same time, the ones who didn't get vaccinated didn't get the mumps. None of them.
Correct. And that's very similar to what they're finding with the California whooping cough outbreak, is that is showing up in the children that were also vaccinated. We can even take this a little further. Another article came up, why vaccines aren't paleo. And it's kind of a little commentary.
Yes.
Again, we're not trying to box ourselves into a paleo or we're giving ourselves some leeway. Mm-hmm. But the idea is, why are we, we're trying to restore our natural immunity. And
yes.
Folks, our ancestors didn't have vaccines to pump their bodies up with.
And again, this doesn't mean that you should never be vaccinated. I don't want you to get the wrong idea in that, because I think there is some place for some of this stuff.
And the idea is to do your own research and do your own timing. Unfortunately, I think the concern that I have is the lack of respect for the differences in people's ability to handle the onslaught of all of these toxins that are in the vaccines.
Yeah. So listen to what they say here. The human genome is best expressed under conditions of plentiful macro and micro nutrients, an abundance of foodborne and
absence of
foodborne and man-made toxins, and an acknowledgement that our coevolution and inextricable interdependence with other animals, plants, and microbes. If we get out of our own way and follow ancestral practices, we can hope to optimize the genetic potential of our bodies to produce a robust and sustainable state of health and vitality.
I like that thought. Get out of our own way.
Yeah.
I actually been working on some copy for my eventually to become available website.
It's coming along. It's coming along.
Yeah. Anyways, I actually explained to people that, folks, health and vitality is simple. We don't have enough of the things we do need. We have too many of the things we don't need. And then we have stress and stressors overlying it.
Yeah.
And those stress and stressors create interference fields. And those interference fields are physical, they are emotional, they're mental, they're chemical, they're environmental.
Yeah.
And that is the goal, to get out of our own way. And a lot of times, guys, we are aware of these interferences. We are aware. But a lot of times we're unaware.
Yeah.
And I give this example, and if I've done it again, I apologize, but I think it's really powerful. I have people come in and they're having sensitivity and they say, oh, I'm allergic to strawberries. And, what we do through our energetic evaluations is, are you allergic to strawberries, or are you allergic to the 550 chemicals that are sprayed on the typical strawberry? Or, when you were 2.5 years old, did your parents have a violent fight and you were eating Cheerios with strawberries on them and you don't even remember it, but the association is there? So these are the kind of things that we're working with. Subconscious, the biology of belief, known and unknown.
Yes.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah. Here's something, what it says, why are we eating ancestral in the first place? A good question. Isn't it to evade or undo the immune-disrupting, inflammation-generating, and infection-promoting effects of the modern grain-based diets, also featuring genetically engineered vegetable oils, synthetic additives and flavorings, grain-fed meat, and processed dairy?
Yes.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. So our present dietary regime that is being promoted by all these companies, by our fast food chains, by many of the doctors and nutritionalists, is the stuff that is the big problem. I was watching a podcast last night, and they had two people on there. One of them was Dr. Jeff Vellick, I believe it is. Yeah. And the person who was before him was a lady, and I forget her name, unfortunately, but she was talking about a general diet for most people, and she brought up eating the whole grains instead of the white, white rice and the processed grains. And of course, that presents a problem to me in the first place.
Well, now let's do that, because some people may not know that there may be, in fact, a reason that the Asian population has chosen to eat a refined white rice because of a lack of inhibitors, right? Mm-hmm. Explain that again, because there might be some visitors that don't know.
And this is my own particular philosophy.
Other people are saying that.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Based on the research that I've done, starting from Weston Price all the way up through everybody that's talking about paleo and primal. And the consensus really is, and I really do believe this, that we're talking about two cultures, the Chinese and the Indian, that are ancient cultures.
Right. That
were overpopulated probably 5, maybe even 10 or 20,000 years ago, and ran out of the food like we're doing now. Okay, so
the primal foods.
The primal food, the animal food. Okay, and that's why they switched to saying in India, "Don't eat the cow." Because we need it for other things too, you know. So the other alternative is now to find plant food that is going to sustain you.
Right.
So they discovered that if they started eating the whole grain, there were things in there. First of all, gluten, of course, but the other thing is the lectins, and the phytic
acid, which interferes.
That interferes with our whole, not only immune system, but our whole digestive system.
Correct.
So they discovered that if they process these and scrape the outer parts are where these things are in, all they're left is with the starch.
Right.
And the starch can be healthy as long as you're eating other things too, greens and things like that.
Correct, like Mark's Daily Apple. He likes starch, right?
Exactly. So, and if you're active, like our ancestors really were, then it becomes less of a problem.
And an occasional well-placed starch.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Now, my starch is really beer.
Right.
Yeah, that's a healthy, as far as I'm concerned.
And it's Friday.
It's
happy hour somewhere.
Exactly.
Soon will be, anyway.
So that's the philosophy of this whole thing. So, you know, when you talk about, Ali Ford and Tom O'Brien had a couple of vegetarians on the show in the last couple of weeks, and they're talking about the vegetarian diet, how that is healthy. Well, I think it's healthier than probably going to fast food joint, but I think in the long run that the primal paleo is much more healthy. And the reasons being is because we're burning fat. And burning fat is getting rid of the toxins automatically, sweeping through your body. And if you're on a sugar-based diet, which a vegetarian diet most of the time is, and I say most of the time, some people may, but there's probably 10% of the population that may do pretty well on that.
Right. And I will tell you that some of the people that I see in my office that have the most health challenges are, first, those that exist on the standard American diet, and secondly, those that eliminate animal foods, a vegan diet, and then a vegetarian, and then those of us that I think are kind of doing a balance. Because folks, I'm going to tell you, I really say that I'm more of a primal. I love my vegetables. I eat a lot of them. I love my vegetables, and I eat an occasional, low sugar fruit here and there, and an occasional treat starch grain. Okay, but I've done the work. I eliminated those. I found out what, I let my immune system calm down, my gut heal, and we can help you do that too.
Yeah, and throwing something in there like a starch once in a while is not going to hurt you.
After you've done the work, if you are having troubles, you've got to almost do that clearing. And that was another thing too. I think we had in here something where the food babe was explaining the differences in breads. What makes a good bread. We've recently found out about the yoga mat, we got our yoga show, but the yoga mat plastics being in food. Did we throw that in there? I kind of wanted to touch on that. It kind of went over the breads. But
well, one of the things I wanted to touch on was really about this whole plastics and chemicals.
There you go, the plastics, and that's what I'm saying, and that we're finding that in the breads, and that kind of inspired the Food Babes article about, the reason we want to start looking at these bread labels is that when they have all those words that say whole grain, luscious, good for you, guys, read the label.
Yeah.
It's marketing.
Yeah. And when we're talking about grains, the worst really is the cereals. That's the worst that you can eat. The second probably is the breads and the pastas. And after that, you've got the quinoa, and you've got some of these milder type of grain, buckwheat, that aren't as disrupting.
I definitely would love to talk about buckwheat a little bit. Buckwheat is very high in bioflavonoids.
Yes,
and for people that are having varicose veins, and let's face it, guys, if we have bleeds in our brain, this is all a sign of capillary disintegrity. Is that a word? Disintegrity?
Yeah, asking me is
but anyways,
a problem. Right?
Occasionally we need to make sure we're getting good bioflavonoids, and buckwheat is actually a seed. Do not get confused with
it's actually it's more of a flour.
Yeah,
it's not really a seed. It's the flower. So the seed has
flower,
opened up.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's a sprouted.
It's kind of sprouted, but it still does have those flavonoids in it. But let's talk about what our ancestors did to these grains and these materials that we're saying taking out of your diet, because there is a way to add them in very healthy.
And that's to use this ancient wisdom and put it into modern health.
Yes. So, and these are the things that they're doing in the countries like China and India and all the ancient cultures started this a long time ago. They fermented them. They soured them. They let them rot even.
They sprouted, exactly.
Yeah.
Think about the fermented fish liver oils.
Yes.
They literally they had like these
big vats.
These big vats. You know, you were like really to be proud if you were a big Viking and you had a big vat out on the side of your house with your, you know, that was something to be prized.
Yes.
Your vat.
I was watching Andrew Zimmer the other night, and he was in one of the countries, I think in the Philippines someplace.
Oh, Philippines, okay.
I'm not sure. It might be in Bali or something. And he came into this place that had hundreds of vats, and he says, okay, there's soy in there. You know, soy is something we don't eat, but if you let it sit in these jars for 8 or 10 years and let them ferment and let them rot a little bit, and then he takes it out and he says, man, this is really good. I am surprised, you know. But there's all different stages of that, and these people love, it was Korea. That's what it was.
Okay.
It was Korea.
Well, see, that's another thing, you know, and also a lot of people in the, you know, like the guest that Ali had, the vegan, they're eating soy. And guys, here's my little sniglet. Soy is not a toy for the girl or the boy.
And
However, tempeh and miso are okay.
Yeah,
because they're fermented.
Yeah.
So, when people,
why is soy no good?
Because it is it has phytic acid, and it's genetically modified. Number one, 90% of the soy is genetically modified. Number two, high in phytic acid. Number three, it's an estrogen hormone disruptor. Okay,
that's a big one.
Those are the 3 reasons we stay away from soy. And when these people in the United States, and I kind of say, you know, we can be somewhat naive sometimes because we cite ancient cultures. Well, they're the healthiest and they eat lots of soy. You need to go back and look. They didn't eat processed soy. They didn't eat genetically modified soy. They didn't eat raw soy like edamame. I used to think about 10 years ago when I would just, I thought I was doing a good thing, you know, but I was eating these genetically.
When I was eating macrobiotics, I was eating brown rice raw.
Yeah, and so, and
we
so
all
the
did stupid
idea
things.
is the fermented soy is what the people who we like to cite as having excellent health were eating, fermented soy. So if you have it there, and actually can be used to be a very healing product in those that have health challenges.
Well, Andrew Zimmer on this show said that these people are obsessed with sour and fermented foods.
Sour, fermented, kefirs, sauerkraut, sprouted seeds, you know, sprouting urine things. You know, these are things that we do, and this is we're acting as if this was new knowledge, and yet this is traditional ancient cultures, and that's what we're all about here, getting back to the primal basics of things.
We are all about that. For
so
sure.
if you have a question, give us a call here. What's our phone number?
877-927-6648.
I'm going to have that roll up my tongue one day soon.
I hope so.
Yeah. So what do we want to go to next, Nico?
Well, I think that one of the things is this interesting article that I found, and let me just see where it is. There's so many things all of a sudden. I dumped so many things in here. Yes, I wanted to say one of the things that Mark's Daily Apple had the other day was what is the best exercise? Yeah, and I thought this was really cool because
I didn't see this one yet. Is it the plank?
No, they mentioned the plank, they mentioned squats, and they mentioned a lot of things, but what Mark says is it's the one that you're going to do on a regular basis.
That's a good idea.
You know, so there is no magic thing, but there is one thing that if you do it on a regular basis, it's going to help you. And I always say, too, is get involved in some kind of sport. And if you're active in a sport for quite a long time, you're going to find that you may get injured and you may have little problems, and you'll start solving these problems. On the Internet, this is a huge thing. Of course, my newsletter is another huge thing that you can get information on how to solve problems that come up because you're active, and they will.
And we have great exercises in the newsletter.
That's right. We'll be right back, folks.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Up next, the Diagnostics Trading Hour with Carol Martin, here on TFNN.
And welcome back, Tigers and Tigresses, and all of you listening to us. It's Paige and Nico at Living a Primal Lifestyle at TFNN.com. And we were talking a little bit about, guys, being healthy is simple. We either have too much of what we don't need, we don't have enough of what we do need, and we have stressors that are interfering with us being healthy.
No doubt about it.
And really, being healthy is something that we do, and we need to take control of our health and put the heel back into health. Article came out in Natural News this week, Treating Hidden Causes of Disease Results in Miraculous Healing. This is what my approach is to try and help people holistically figure out how to free themselves of those things that are interfering with them enjoying their best health. So many of us, people that actually work with holistic practitioners, have spent thousands of dollars on tests and so forth and medications, and you know, they're really looking for solutions. And I just thought this article did a great job of just kind of highlighting, you know, what a holistic practitioner's approach would be. So real simple with those three things I said: something you need, something you don't need, and stressors in between. We know that heavy metal poisoning is widespread.
And really, a lot of it comes from dentists.
Well, you know, single-handedly, the dental profession, not to, you know, they didn't they're not doing this maliciously, but the way they're trained is, think about this, guys, how does this make sense? We should all be scared of eating a fish with mercury in it, yet they drill our teeth and put it in our teeth, you know? They add it to our water supply, you know, fluoride, which is a hydrofluorosilicic acid. It is not a pharmaceutical grade. So we know the heavy poisoning is heavy metal poisoning. It's in our food supply. So we look for the signs of this. Dental infections, including the root canals and cavitations, are linked with illness. You know, one of the kindest things any holistic practitioner can do is start with looking at the mouth. And many times, you know, health challenges are hard to overcome. You know, you've heard me talk about Dr. Marshall. He's taught us that the body can overcome almost any infection, but it really struggles with a dental infection. And Dr. Weston Price proved all of that, the miles and miles of microtubules that become infected as the bacteria pleomorphs into a form that is unrecognizable to the body. So we got to look at dental infections, and we know that every tooth is connected to the nerve system in a meridian. You know, I have a client right now that's got a tooth problem in one particular tooth, and I know that it's connected to the stomach and the heart meridian. So we're doing extra things to support that.
And then to expand on just the poisoning of our body, we can expand that maybe to the whole earth with all the plastics and all the toxins and all the stuff that we're just putting in our oceans. And, you know, I read an article a few years ago where this guy goes sailing in the South Pacific, and he gets to this one area where they kind of like the doldrums, where he goes along and he finds 1,000 miles of plastic 6 feet thick sitting in there. Because
you can see that on the internet, that picture of it.
Picture of it. And you know what's happening, of course, the sun is hitting this and the water is hitting this, and this stuff is starting to leak out. And then he says when you put your hand in there, it's all mushed together. Of course, there's wildlife in there too. So, I mean, when you talk about 1,000 miles of ocean being covered in 6 foot of plastic and all the other stuff that's put together, then you think maybe we have a serious problem going on here where we're still dumping things. I know when I first moved to Florida and I was living down in the Lake Worth, West Palm Beach area, they were still putting raw sewage into the beach areas. You know, a couple of miles from the beach, but still, once in a while, you'd have this toxic sludge that come and they close the beaches. Well, it's because they're dumping raw sewage in there, and there's many communities, of course, around the world that are still doing this whole thing of just dumping it without any processing whatsoever.
Well, the microcosm is a reflection of the macrocosm, and if our water, if we're treating our water like this, folks, you know, think of our bodies. We are that water.
We're out of time, folks, but I got an email from a special friend that asked me to say hi. So, Sarah, I'm saying hi to you, and
hi, Sarah.
Hope to see you soon.
Yes, everyone have a great week, and we'll see you next week here at Living a Primal Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.